let me go. Okay, we were doing create requisition. Let us complete that quickly. So now you can see we have the option of assigned role also. So here we can add primary recruiter. Okay, this role is coming in the drop down. Why? Why it is coming in the drop down?
Because we put it there, no?
Yeah, we have created maintain assignable role, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it could be assigned to any user. Okay. So where I've added actually. So if you're making changes, you know, in the BP policy, not BP policy, but consolidated template, it will be reflected in all the job requisition BPs. Let me go and view it. So this is my job requisition. Okay, I'll click on related actions. I'll go to business process, view business process template. Okay, now over here, if I click, I can see a related action option. Earlier in my tenant, I could see from here itself, but now I think it is updated and we have to see it from here. I'll click over here. Business process type. Sorry, business process. Then we have configure consolidated template over here. Effective date, today's date. Whenever we are making changes in BP, never change the effective date.
The effective date.
Business process type would be job requisition. By default, it will come. Now I've added this assigned role section over here. Okay, and this requisition composition was already present. If I remove it over here, and if you're again using the task create job requisition, it will go away. Okay, but the thing is, when we are creating job requisition and if we are selecting the support SH, then this job template would be valid. Okay, if let's suppose we are using some other support, then this job requisition template won't be valid. Okay, because this BP is customized only for our own SH support.
Okay.
So assign role, and similarly, let us see what all sections we
So
can
every time we have to create a BP for every support.
In normal tenants, no client tenants, we don't have any customized BPs. We always use the default BPs, and over there only we can make the changes. Because in these type of training tenants, every user is creating its own support. Okay, and that's why they want to make a lot of changes in their BPs. So not everyone can make changes in the default definition. So that's why they are creating their own default definitions. But in real-time scenarios, in clients' projects, we always use default definition. We don't no need of creating customized definitions. But yes, along with default definition, we also have data conversion BPs. Like if there's a job requisition BP, bracket default definition, there would also be a job requisition BP, bracket data conversion. Those BPs are used by the data conversion team. Okay, that is something related to data load and reporting and things like that. But we functional consultants in client tenant always use the default definition. Okay, now let me see from the drop down. So these three options are only available, which could be added as a section. The rest, which we can see, no, those are Workday defined, like the qualification and the skills, competency, questionnaire, everything. Those are Workday defined. But if you want to add these 2-3 things additional, we have to add it over here. Now remember, not all the BPs are like this consolidated template. They are not like that. Okay. Only some BPs are consolidated template. Now let me check for hire if it is consolidated or not.
How do you know the consolidated or not?
We could see this option, no? View consolidated template.
Okay.
Not everybody will be able to see. By consolidated template means this particular triggering of BP should have some sort of template, some sort of format attached, either while creating which leads to triggering of this BP, or in the BP itself, there would be some format in the task. So let me check for hire. Over here, I cannot see any option. I cannot see any option of consolidated template or anything related to template. Okay, because hire doesn't involve any format sections while we are triggering it, or if any steps needs to be in format. But job requisition is consolidated template dependent.
Okay.
Now let me check for edit job. Okay, this is also not consolidated driven. Generally, in recruitment, job requisition is mainly consolidated template driven BP. So this is how we create a job rec, okay, and how this is how we include primary recruiter. Now, once we are assigning a job rec with a primary recruiter, no, and assigning it to a user, now we can simply add primary recruiter as a security group in any one of the BPs of the recruitment. Okay, like we are adding HCM partner, HR partner, HR admin. Similarly, we can add primary recruiter. The only thing we have to take care is primary recruiter is added in the appropriate domains, and it should also be added in the required sections of the business process policies. Okay, we have to make sure that first, only then in the drop down, the option will come for primary recruiter. So sometimes in interview, the interviewer directly asks, do you know the concept of primary recruiter, why they are used, and how we set up it? This is a very important concept, and every client wants to include primary recruiter. And why don't we add primary recruiter at SUBOG level?
Is there any other role as well we define at the job acquisition level?
Let us check. That is a good question. Now see, these are the only roles I can see, okay, which could be assigned. And the reason for this is what? Why? We have seen something related to this yesterday.
Sorry, we have.
Why only these three roles are coming at the time of job requisition level, and not a recruiter or HCM partner or HR admin? Why they are not coming?
Because
It
it's
is
not assigned while designing the role security.
uh, it is definitely related to security, and we have seen yesterday domain job rec if we search. We have done some additions.
Okay, assignment.
This domain provides access to job requisition role assignments. Whatever roles we are assigning over here now, adding over here, only those could be visible in the drop down. Now let
Okay.
me check. Because these are the role assignment at job requisition level. Okay, currently I cannot see all these ones. Is the primary recruiter. Okay, primary recruiter is coming here. Just a second, it is loading.
Why we are not able to see the other roles?
Yes, exactly. Let me see. Hmm. Okay, I think this domain provides access to job requisition role assignments. Means these all people can assign the role at the job requisition level. And it is not like these people will be assigned role at job requisition. Means if we are proxied as these people, these security pro, then we can see the option of assigned role in the section of the job requisition, and we can do the assignment. But why those three are coming? Just a second, let me check. Okay, okay. Why it is coming? Now let me go to maintenance sanity. Okay, so over here we have, I think, enabled for job rec. Let me search for job rec, which all are coming, the roles. Okay, yes, only three are coming. Okay, means these roles could be assigned at job requisition level. That's why only these three are coming. Now let's suppose if I want to add some other one, or let me delete this one and also remove this filter. Now for testing, I am adding it here. Job rec. Done. Okay. Now this person is about to come. Okay, so this data is coming from that particular maintainer assignment. And the domain to which we have added primary recruiter, it is giving the access of primary recruiter to do the role assignments at job requisition. So this person, Adam Carlton, is having the access to see this particular section because he might be given that those roles, one of those roles assigned for this particular super to which this job rec is attached. See, Adam, okay. Adam is given the role of HR partner. That is why he's able to see. And HR partner was there in the list. Okay, recruiter also Adam is given. Again, okay, this is different. So that is why he's able to see the option of assigned roles. So these are some common, lookups we have to do or configurations we have to do if we are not able to see anything or we are not able to do anything. So we learn how to do create job requisition, how to set up the primary recruiter, and how to see the feature of spotlight job. And there's one more task, configure optional field. This task is also very much used. So it has some optional fields which we can hide or unhide for a particular functionality, you can say. So let me do for job requisition. Okay, while creating job requisition or while changing job requisition, if we want certain fields to be visible or not, we can do that. Like closing a job rec. So close job rec task might have certain fields. So if we want certain fields to be visible or not, we can do that judgment over here. So it includes the list of all the optional fields. So currently, these three fields are made into use and enforced required in web services. Okay, this one is enabled, time type is enabled for web services. So web services are used during the EIBs. That is different. We'll see how it is used. Then additional job profiles option, it is hidden for all. Supplementary questionnaire for job rec, it is hidden for all. Let me add something more. So we can add these things, okay, in a job rec task, like additional job description if we want to add. Okay, if the clients maybe ask that we want some additional job rec, so from here we can add in the task create job rec. Job description, job description summary, spotlight job, time type. Okay, we can add.
Yeah.
So this task is also something to be, we have to remember this task also. Now, these were the normal job requisition, normal job openings. Okay. Now there's another type of job rec called confidential job requisition. Have you heard about those terms? Okay, so I logged in with create confidential job rec task, and these are the same sections which we saw for the normal job rec also. And over here we can assign the roles. I don't think so we can assign confidential. Okay, it was already created in the system.
Then
Like confidential recruiters are attached to a job requisitions, okay, which take part in the confidential job requisition DP. Now, when we click on submit button for these confidential job rec, it will lead to the triggering of the normal job requisition DP. Just remember that. Okay, it leads to the triggering of normal job requisition DP. We can do our own conditioning. We can add our own conditions, validation rules on that normal job requisition DP for the confidential hires. We can do that. So just remember that we use the task create confidential job rec, okay, and generally the confidential recruiter only does all the tasks starting from creation of confidential job rec to submitting that particular task, and it will lead to the normal job rec BP triggering, okay, and maybe a URL could be created, but that URL is not posted on external career site. It could be in some internal career site or agency users career site, but not on external portals, okay. And the only different BP which is configured for confidential job rec is for the hire. When that particular confidential prospect turned candidate is selected for ready for hire option, then it leads to triggering of customized confidential hire BP. Okay, we'll see that when we reach the ready for hire stage. But till now, just remember that it has its own domain, and the confidential recruiter is the main security group who takes part. The normal job rec BP is triggered, and it doesn't involve posting of the job on external career site. A URL is created. Using that URL, the confidential job recruiter can either invite the prospect to apply, or he can apply on his or her behalf. So that is how the flow goes. So edit job requisition business process to specify the security groups that can create a confidential job rec for the create job requisition initiation action. Now let me go and search for BP job rec. So now let us see where for confidential job rec the section comes. Okay, so here. So see, we can see the section of confidential job rec in the normal job rec BP. Okay, so that's why the normal job rec BP is triggered. But we can define over here who will be able to see the task, create confidential job rec. Okay, it is from here. And let us see and go down to check any other section for confidential job rec. no other options are coming. Only the creation task is given the access in this BP policy, and then it will lead to triggering of the normal BP. Now, one more thing, another very important concept a consultant must know. If we click on the related actions, okay, let me click on the business process and rule-based process configuration. Let me click. No changing of the effective date. See, over here, I can define my own customized BP as well. Okay, like the initiation is done, or let's suppose for a create job requisition. Okay, I don't want the normal job rec steps to be executed. I don't want all of them. I want a little bit my own customized job rec BP for the support SH only. Okay, how I can do that? I can justify over here some rule, create condition rule. So job requisition is confidential. This is my condition. Relational operator equal to yes. I'm putting a tick mark over here. Okay. Okay. This is the condition I've put in. Now I want my own customized confidential job rec BP, which I have not created till now. Okay, I can add it over here, but currently I have not created. I can create my own BP and add it over here. So this is one of the main important functionality. Uh, what we can do using this, we can trigger multiple customized BP, not at the same time, uh, but based on some condition. Okay, uh, let's suppose SH Superg has one big job rec BP, okay, which we have seen, which we have created also. This is the customized BP job rec for SH, okay. So by default, if we are creating any job rec and clicking on submit, then this customized job rec BP should trigger. But we don't want all these steps to be there. We want certain customization over here. So we can add using this feature, rule-based business process configuration with a condition first of all, with a condition, and we can create our own customized BP over here. It is still connected to the SH1 only. It is still connected to the SH support only. But the steps would be based on our own requirement. So what happens in client's tenant, we have one default, and in some cases the client doesn't want all the steps of the default BP to trigger. Okay, so in that case, we do not customize the BP. Okay, we don't like using a superb create a new BP like this. No, we use the option of rule-based configuration. In the default BP itself, we can add a certain condition, and that condition, if fulfilled, will lead to triggering of that BP and not the default BP. Okay, this is how, if we don't want default BP to trigger, okay, and want our own customized BP to trigger for the same support, this is how we do it. I hope I'm clear, because this is a very important topic from interview point of view. They directly ask you, do you know the concept of rule-based configuration? So that is how. So you can answer like it is basically for triggering of our own customized BP for a particular condition. Okay, if you don't want default BP to trigger. Okay, where were we? So this is how we can give the access of creating a confidential job break as the initiation action. Now there's one more important report named Find Job in Workday. So this is how a recruiter goes into the tenant and sees the list of all the job openings. Okay. So we have the filters over here: current or distance, full-time, part-time, hiring manager, is evergreen, job category we can define. Okay. Job profile, job family, management level which we want. We want job openings for director level. So where we define the management level, if you remember, management level are like director, individual contributor, or manager or VP. These individual manager, director, executive vice president. We define it at the job profile level. If you remember, job profile includes three major things: the availability date, the management level, location, and some details related to compensation. Okay, so this is the find job report which we are looking into. Recruiter, first of all, uses this report only to find any job openings. Okay,
Okay.
and if the Workday system is installed for a particular customer, using this report only, he would be able to see the job openings. Then these are the filters, and we can also include the filter over here of spotlight jobs. Okay, so this is Workday defined report. We can create our own report as well by copying it. Okay, but we are not copying it right now because we don't want any editing. So this is one of the major report. So we just saw how to create a job rec, concept of spotlight job, find job reports. Okay, then set up primary recruiter. We first have to maintain assignable role, then create security group, assign him or her to the required domains, and then attach him or assign him at the job requisition level and not at the superb level. The reason being, primary recruiter, we want to customize it for a particular job rec. It is to lessen the burden of the recruiter who is attached at the superb level. Then we can add the section of assigned role uh, by configuring the consolidated template and adding the assigned role option there. Now, primary recruiter role could be added in various BPs like assess candidate BP, job requisition, change BP, manage internal career apply, posting, referring a candidate. We can apply primary recruiter in these following um, tasks. Time to fill report, we have already seen this. It is not created always, but we have already discussed that it is to see the efficiency of the recruiter. It gives the count like For a particular period, a recruiter has hired how many candidates. So there are 4 columns. Okay, the calculation for those is done in the task edit tenant setup recruiting. If you remember, in the first class itself, we have seen 4 calculations are defined over there. Okay, so how the 30 days would be defined: 30 to 59, 60 to 89, and 90. So these are the 4 columns. But how these are calculated, that is done in this particular task. Then this is how the bar graph for the time to fill looks like. Then if we go down, we'll be able to see something like this, that the recruiters are mentioned over here. Then less than 30 days, how many of the candidates were hired or taken into picture. Then 30 to 59, 90 plus, and the total count. So this is basically to judge the productivity of the recruiters. Okay. Okay, it is something different. No need of seeing this. Confidential job rec. So these are sensitive job requisitions. Okay, confidential recruiter generally do all the tasks related to confidential job rec creation or submission or the steps which are included in the job requisition. We can do the customization using rule-based configuration. Okay, in the normal job requisition BP itself, and it is not at all tied to a position. Only the SOPOG is asked when we are creating a job, confidential job requisition. Okay. Now this is a very small activity, okay, which you have to start doing now. So first of all, you have to create your own SOPOG. Put your initials over there with it so that I can see what you're doing. And if there's any issue, I can also see. You can put the SOPOG name, and whatever you're doing, just put your initials, either KRI or anything, and let me. So create a SOPOG,
Okay.
create a job requisition, okay. Mark the requisition as spotlight, then create a primary recruiter role. Again, you have to put your initials for the primary recruiter role as well. And you have to assign it to the job requisition. Okay. This 4th step, skip as of now because we have not discussed the job application. Then you have to create a job confidential job requisition with primary recruiter as a security group created above.